so much for joining me for my 12 Sundays of Christmas series. My name is Sharon Rogers and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And for 3 or 4 years now, I have done this series where each Sunday from October through mid-December, I bring you either a gift packaging idea or a small gift idea. Let's see what I have for us today. On the third Sunday of Christmas, Sharon shared with me an envelope, great for mailing or giving to someone when you have a fairly flat treat that you want to put inside. So this is just a package of embellishments, fits nicely in there, and you could set this off in the mail, and it costs perhaps just a little bit more than a regular postage stamp because this is a little bit more of a square size. So sometimes if it's more square, then there's a little surcharge. Or if like this one that I created earlier this week, this one might get a surcharge, not because of the size, but because of the weight, because I had several things in here. Let's get started. To get started, once you have identified what you want to gift, and in this case, it is a package of the dragonflies and birds embellishments. These are going to be in our next launch of online exclusives coming in November. They go with a bundle and they're really flat. They're even flatter, I believe, than the brushed brass butterflies, which makes these ideal for embellishing and putting through the mail because there's no lumps and bumps to get that extra surcharge that some post offices like to charge you. So to determine what you need for designer series paper to make your envelope, you need to measure the gift that goes in it. And you want to measure on the diagonal. So I have something that's about 8 inches long. I'm going to add 1 inch to that, and that is the size square of designer series paper that I need. I'm bringing in the Joy of Christmas designer series paper. I'm going to cut a 9x9 square. So you can make any size envelope using this technique, but obviously whatever you put inside the envelope can't be more than 11 inches on the diagonal because our paper is 12x12. So this one was a little bit over in that dimension. I'd use this on, I think, week 1, Sunday 1. But maybe it was Sunday 2. I can't quite remember. So here we have a 9x9 piece. Now we're going to flip this over, and as best you can, you're going to center this in this diagonal, in this rhombus or this diamond. If you want to be very precise, you can bring in some grid sheets. And I like to do this with them. I turn them, and I like to make sure they're the same on both sides. So 2.5 inches in, 2.5 inches in. This center line lines up with the other center line. So then all I have to do is I put 1 point. Oh, that's probably off camera, but 1 point is on the line up there. 1 point is down here, and these points are on here. So they're all on this solid grid line that's basically denoting the center of the paper. And then I lay this on here. Again, you can eyeball it. You'll probably be a little bit off, but there is a little bit of error or room for wiggle room. So this is looking like it's coming down to 1 grid length below the 3 inches. So over here, it's 5 inches on this side because it counted the opposite way. So 8 minus 5, or 8 minus 3 is 5. So I want to go 1 inch down there or 1 block down there. That's about right. And I try to center it over here, left and right as well. So this looks like this edge comes down to about 2 1/4. And this one looks like it comes down to about 2 and more. So we want to slide this over just a little bit. All right, I'm going to call that good enough. You can just really eyeball it. And once you get a lot of these done and going, you'll really get a feel for it. So now we're going to fold this up over the bottom here. I can already see my point is going a little bit off, so I'm going to just adjust this. I want it pointing right up towards that other one, and then I know it's pretty good, pretty well centered. I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to fold this one over in the same way. Crease it and open it. And then we'll do the top. And notice that I am holding it with my other hand because it tends to slip around if you don't. And here we go, is another one. All right, I'm done with my grid sheet. We'll come in and we will burnish with a bone folder. So every time you're going to open up, and then just fold the next flap in and burnish. Okay, get nice crisp lines there. Now it's time to bring in your paper snips. And can you see that there is a little triangle right here? Those are the fold lines. You're going to remove that little triangle just with your paper snips. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. Now, if you were a little off on your centering, this is where it will show up. For instance, this little triangle is smaller than the other triangles, so I know I was a little bit off. But again, there's wiggle room. And then one more right here. Not quite done with our scissors. Well, we might be done with our scissors. All right, now you're going to fold one piece up and these 2 sides in. All right, see how they come together like this? That's what you want. There's our envelope. But we have a little bit of excess that we can cut off, right? So I'm going to just sort of remember that it's about this much that was showing. If it's not perfectly straight, it's okay because these edges are going to come over. And now we can fold it, and there is our envelope. I just noticed something. This flower, it gets completed. It looks like it gets completed with this little point, doesn't it? That's kind of cool. All right, now we just need to glue things together. I'm going to take out our glue. And you want to be very careful here. So I don't want glue to get on the inside of my envelope. I see where my point is right here. I'm going to come in a little bit and just go down this edge. I'm going to just a thin line of glue, and I'm going to press that in a little bit and do the same thing over here. So I can see I have that. Remember, not too close to the edge, but not too far either. You just don't want it to, kind of eke out the edges. Now, if you find that you've got a little piece sticking up, maybe you didn't get close enough to the edge, you can just add a little bit of glue in here. It'll be fine. All right. And that is our envelope. You can put your little treat in it. Now, you can remember, actually, let's see. No, it does go the other way. If you want to fold it over in such a way that it does leave a little extra room, you can certainly do that, but you can see I put this right in here. If you have just a little bit of trouble, like I did, you just sort of, maybe if you can bend this little piece a little bit, that helps get it started, and then it slides right in. And then all you have to do is seal the envelope, and you've got a really pretty envelope to mail. This will be probably 1 stamp. As long as your dimensions of your envelope are within regular postal guidelines, it should not be an extra charge, but if anything, it's, the extra ounce charge. But this will certainly get noticed in the mail, don't you think? It's so pretty. And I'm not going to seal it yet because obviously I'm keeping these and using these for myself right now. I'll order some other ones later. So when you're mailing this, you can just stick on a label here and put the address right there. And same thing for your return address if you want to do that. Or you can just use this to give to someone. Wouldn't these look nice on a tree? Here's an envelope I did recently. It contains information about October's Starter Kit Special. Has a little bit about the perks of joining my team. And this is a little bit about what it means to join the Stampin' Up! Family. And this all fit right in here. I put in a little hand-stamped card, and I addressed it. Now, this one you could probably just write with a nice bold pen on it, and that would suffice. This, I think, was $1.30 to mail because it is a little bit heavier, and with that hand-stamped card, is a little bit thicker too. But so you can make them any size. Maybe we want to go a little smaller, something that might say fit a little tea bag. Well, remember what we need to do. We need to measure on the diagonal. So this is 4 inches on the diagonal. So I need a 5x5 sheet of designer series paper. Again, this is the Joy of Christmas. Love this green buffalo check for Christmas. Very festive. And I chose this sheet because the inside coordinates nicely with the gingerbread house. Now let's see if we can do this without really grabbing the grid paper out. I'm going to try to put this, I'm going to align my points north and south. And the grid sheet does help with this a bit, but let's see what we can do. We're going to fold this bottom one up. All right. I'm going to fold this side in. Fold the top down. Got to be a little bit careful with the top because it's very thin up there. Oops. Let's see, mine slid around, so I'm gonna try to find where my pieces were. There we go. And now we're gonna fold this other side in. All right. Let's burnish. This is going to let us see those little pieces that we have to cut off. We'll bring in our little paper snips. My triangles look a lot more uniform this time, although they're not quite perfect. But again, doesn't really matter because these cut marks get covered up. Very easy to make your own envelopes this way. For any reason, even just sending a card, you can make your own envelope out of coordinating designer series paper. All right, let's bring in our glue. Oh, we have to, remember, we have to kind of cut off what shows. So it looks like if I cut off right around here, it'll be good. I'm just eyeballing it really. Yep, there we go. And we'll put a little bit of adhesive down here. And this does come over quite a bit, so we'll put some adhesive down here. I might even put a little bit more down in here. All right, here we go. We'll hold that for just a second. right. And put a little tea bag in. Ooh, I think it went on the side actually. Put that little tea bag in there. Wrap a little ribbon around this. Now, where I had cut off this little triangle, I didn't quite cut enough. So I'm going to come back in here and just trim that to fit. And so there we have it. All we have to do to make that extra special, let's see. I think I've got some gold cord here. And we could just tie this up. Let's see. See how my bow tying skills are. Oh, I have to start on the bottom, I think. We'll just, You'll see how my bow tying skills are. I can't even get the cord wrapped around. Let's try this again. I can play with it once I've got this tied in a bow. But how cute is this? How cute would this be at a little place setting? You could write people's names on it, or you could just have it, you know, just sitting on their saucer. Cute, right? Another way to give that little envelope with a little treat in it. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll be making lots and lots of envelopes in lots and lots of sizes in the weeks to come. If you would like to visit my blog for a list of instructions and supplies and all that goes along with this project, the link to that is in the description of this video. There's also a link in the description of this video to sign up for my newsletter in case you would like to stay abreast of different specials and classes that I have going on. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you next week for the 4th Sunday of Christmas.